what's up you guys, this is Rob from Gay Guy Plays, and today on Dress to Kill, we're doing a little bit of an Inaros Ramsey skin Redux. As many of you guys know, it actually went through a couple texture changes, mainly because of the fact that the saturation of some of the colors on the actual skin itself, it didn't really pop. It was just very, very washed out, which, you know, for my uses was absolutely fantastic. You know, I liked everything being muted and nice and calmed down, but I do know that there's a part of my audience that likes things to be a little bit richer, a little bit more intense, and some of y'all like to look like Skittles too sometimes. So I figured I would go ahead and show you guys exactly what's changed. It's gonna be a bit of a shorter episode, and I'm not gonna do any of the fancy Captura stuff. Again, this is the Redux, but for anybody who is a little bit newer, we're chatting about the Inaros Ramsey skin, which is available in the market for 150 plat. So the skin on its own, that's all it is, but if you do want to invest a little bit more, you will actually get the Scarab Syandana and the Khopesh Longsword skin in addition to that. Just keep in mind that both the Syandana and the Khopesh skin are exclusive to the bundle. You can't actually purchase them separately, and the Longsword Khopesh skin works on every single one of the Longswords, and by Longswords I mean things like Broken War, the Croaker, the Dakra, things like that, just so that you're aware. So let's go ahead and jump on into the looks themselves, which I'm actually really excited about. Okay, you're already kind of getting a glimpse. You're already kind of getting a glimpse at one, but whenever I do Inaros, I always, you know, it's kind of like you have attachment to certain colors and you kind of like feel like certain Warframes look like certain things. Well, my initial reaction to Inaros has always been like, I like him in like grays and kind of like, I want him to look a little bit dingy, a little bit mummified like that, and I like tossing in purple. That just kind of felt right. So I always have the A slot for Inaros to be that kind of look. And as you can see right here, we have him kind of redone, a little bit more zhuzhed up. The color's a little bit more intense, and I didn't kind of like keep the metallics all that cool. We still have some metallics on him, but what I wanted to demonstrate is exactly how dark he could go and exactly how light he could go. Because as you guys know, last time it wasn't very, very far at all. So I figured this specific look would be a great way to kind of gauge exactly what you could do with it. So as you can see right here, you can go super, super dark. You could not do that before. Now, if you kind of look at it, it looks like it almost looks like a little bit of a matte black or a little bit of a suede kind of black. Still rich. And if we go up here, as you can see, it's like beaming. It's like Jesus came through to your house and was like, I will bless you with my holy glory. Beams of heaven. You know, that's kind of how it works there. So that was not like the kind of range that we had before. The rest of the textures on it don't really seem that much different. The only thing that I am going to say is that the metallics on the actual accent spot do look to be a little bit more reflective, a little bit cleaner than before. It was still intense before, but I feel like this is more in line with a lot of the other metallics in the game itself. So it feels a little bit more like that. Now let's go ahead and take a look at the colors. Like I was saying, oh, can you see everything? Oh, I'm gonna have to do a little bit of this. Oh no, how am I gonna do this? There you go. We'll do that real fast because Rob ain't trying to edit. Okay, so as you can see right there, we've got it down at the bottom. Again, I kind of really like this look to be dusty and gray. Ignore that. We'll move over here. Again, ignore that. So for those of you guys who are wondering what those stars are, you can actually favorite certain colors. And what I'll do is I will compare and contrast certain colors, and I'll see, oh, does this look better? Does that look better? It sometimes comes down to like which one is the most intense or which one is not the most intense. And as you can see, we've got one down there. So let's go ahead and move back. I'm really like scared that it's not gonna quite work, and I know that some of the transitions are a little bit rough, but you know, Rob has been doing keto and it's like dieting and working out and all that kind of stuff. Now, here's my rendition of this second look. The one thing I have to say about this second look is I tried to toss accessories on it. I still wanted to kind of give that really bright, glowing gold, very vibrant kind of like pharaoh look that I did last time. But because of the fact that the gold that I used on it was now way too bright, was now way too intense for me to be okay with using on the frame, I actually wanted to go ahead and kind of like dull it down a little bit so you can see that I use a deeper brown. The only thing I will say about this brown, and this is the reason that you don't see accessories on this specific look, is because of the fact that every time I try to put accessories on it, it just seemed like too much. Like, it's a really rich, beautiful brown color, but the thing about it is kind of like when you put accessories on and you do, it just kind of starts looking messy. And I didn't experience that with many of the other colors, but for some reason this one was really the one that kind of stuck out. And I'm like, I tried a bunch of different accessories, I was like, this is just not too much. And if you feel like this look is a little much too, I know that this red is not usually where I would go with it. You can actually toss in an off-white and it'll be fine too. It'll probably be a little bit softer on the eyes as well. So, you know, feel free to tweak any of these looks as you please. But let's go ahead and actually take a look at those looks. Yeah, and it's one of those things that I found really, really funny and odd, was the fact that there are just certain colors that legitimately I just don't feel pair well. Let me know in the comment section if you guys feel that way too. I think that's such a beautiful blue, and I actually use that on the cape as well. Rapala Cyanide on it, again, killing it on pretty much everything. Collision on it's terrible, but you know what? Sometimes you put up with it because it's a good look, right? And one of my favorites with the Daybreak to create that little pop. Again, if you don't want to use that little pop, just toss on an off-white, and that'll actually work really, really well. Of course, you know what this is. This is C3R3 in Storm. That is the classic rose gold. And you know, every look that I do that's got metallic in it, I had to have a little rose gold. And again, we're back in it with the Daybreak palette. I actually use the Daybreak palette a lot in this set. And I'm not exactly sure what it was that did it. So let's go ahead and move into our last look over here, and I'm going to be honest with you. This might end up becoming my primary look. I really kind of fucking fell in love with it, and it's really rare for me to fall in love with something this intense. Tennokan armor looks absolutely fantastic with it. If you guys haven't checked it out already, you can pick up your digital tickets at warframe.com/Tennokan. I'll leave a link in the description box below. But if you pick up the digital pack, you get access to the armor straight away. And I don't know, like, a part of me feels very like, oh, samurai. It feels very samurai, and then another part of me feels very like, it's Gundam. It's like a samurai Gundam. And a part of me is like, you can't not like a samurai Gundam. Come on, that's like two amazing things in one. It's like, it's sweet. And so I fucking fell in love with it. And I usually, as you guys know, don't go too crazy with the metallics being what I call like artificial colors. Like, I like my metallics to be silver, gold, maybe like a rose metallic, but beyond that, I don't go into greens or like purple. I try not to do that because I think it looks a little bit tacky. So you're always gonna see like maybe like a black, you know, like maybe obsidian-ish. I know obsidian's not a metal, but you know, there's like black carbon fiber metals out there. But yeah, I always thought that these things were a little too flashy for me, and pairing it up with a red was definitely intense. But for some reason, I really, really like it because the red isn't like as eye-gougingly intense, and I kind of made that intentionally because I was almost thinking of going like that deep, and I was like, oh, that's too deep. And I was like, you don't need to go that far. And so I was like, okay, still want to keep it a little bit washed out. We might even go one more darker for that one. We'll see, you know. We'll keep playing, and that's the one thing you guys need to kind of keep in mind, is whenever I show you guys these looks, it is very much fluid. Like, sometimes I'll keep it, sometimes I'll slightly tweak it. Like, it's just, and whenever I do tweak it, it's always like very, very small tweaks. It's like one shade up, one shade down. No, I'm feeling like this is too intense. I feel like that is too intense. But just keep in mind too that when I color the Tennokan armor, I use the same shades, but I placed them in different areas. And I used the blue twice, and I knocked out like the bright orangey color. Just in case you guys are curious as to how that goes. But again, really, what is this color? I don't remember using this color. Oh, that was that one. Okay, that makes sense. Sometimes I forget what I do. And then we have a brighter kind of like poppier energy color. I was actually going to put my SANDR on this one just because I thought it looked cool, but I was like, let's mix it up a little bit, you know what I mean? We got a little energy. We've got an energy strip basically happening back here, you know, from the jets up there to this beam down there to that down there. I was like, I like that little detail. So that about does it for this setup. Now I wrong one. I messed it all up now completely. Ignore this. Oh, this is what happens when Rob really tries hard not to edit things, but Rob can never do it. So let me know, okay? Because B is a little intense for me, but I still kind of love it because it definitely embraces all of the pharaohness. But A has always been my kind of classic design. I've always kind of loved the gray and purple with Inaros. But let me know. Which one is your favorite look? Down in the comments below. Let me know if I should swap over my C onto my A slot, because my A slot is like my primary slot. Let me know if I should swap that over there because you guys end up liking that better. Let me know how you feel, and are you guys glad about these changes? Are you guys feeling these new metallics? Been playing around with them a little bit more? Toss all of that in the comments below as well. Oh, before we leave, let's show off the Khopesh. Show off the Khopesh. I was like, it's the one thing that I had noted before. Oh, I'm not good at this. The one thing that I had noted before is that the metallics on them, almost did not match. Oh, that was a fail. Is it upgrade? There's a trick to it. I think it's like equip or something like that. I can't do it. Anyway, the one thing that I was making note of was the fact that the Khopesh, the metallics on there now match better to the metallics on the skin, and now you can basically kind of like copy things over and have it not be absolutely disgusting. Let's take a look at the scarab. The scarab. So we'll do that real quick, right? And then we'll do copy main colors. And the metallics, you still have to move them because as you can see right here, I'm probably gonna put this metallic on over here. So as you can see, the metallics are more true to kind of like what's actually on the skin, as opposed to what was there before. It's still a little bit more muted, but it's not, it's closer and it's a little bit more usable. You do definitely have to tweak it a little bit. Yeah, because that's a matte. Is that a matte or is that meant to be? Yeah, that's a matte. So I would put the metallic section, so I would use, let's do live customization. I feel like, I'm like, oh my god, what am I doing? This was this one from the Storm palette. So as you can see, oh, that's not the right one. DE, you fooled me. Right here. So that one definitely falls more in line with this metallic right here. So as you can see, that's probably how you're gonna want to match it up, which always kind of frustrates me when DE puts things on like different, what do you call this? Things on different channels, so it's hard to kind of carry things through. But if I was gonna do this one, to be honest with you, I would like, oh, what am I doing? I would actually take it like one step darker to make it match a little bit better. So as you can see there, it's a little bit richer. And I do believe that I actually did that to the armor as well. So as you can see there, little tips and tricks, just kind of like scooch things around. But it's far better. It's definitely a lot better than it was before. Before, everything just looked like kind of like an inconsistent jumbled mess. Now it's actually a little bit more workable. Regardless, leave all of your feelings in the comments below. And that about does it for me. So as always, love somebody, hurt nobody, and touch yo body. But not your dog nipples, because they are gone, and the toes as well. I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye!